50 EU finals. Of course, it's the 4 winners of the 4 cups that will be moving forward, and that's BC Games, Simple, Electronic, Nexa, all names that people, any really good Counter-Strike enjoyers should know who they are. We do have a veto as well to bring you, so let's run through that one of where we're going to be heading in this game. One we're going to pick in towards Dust2 to kick starters. Following that, Basement Boys have picked Ancient, and if we need it, Train is our decider. So, Harvey, without further ado, mate, let's get this show on the road. Basement Boys take it on 1 win here in the lower bracket, round 4, and we're starting things on Dust2.
Yes, indeed. We are very much quickly into the action, not wasting any time getting down mid and early smoking as well. This is definitely what we're here for. There's no real presence from the Basement Boys at the moment, so exciting for a second there, Neo. It's slowed down pretty quick.
Welcome to the world of Dust2 defaults. It looks initially like it's going to be something kind of quick, but we're going for a short play. There is a creep move out, but Cronus has been spotted. I'm so surprised he hasn't been tagged. Crosshair looks dead on. We need to be a little careful here. This could be a bit funky. Trouble for the first. Cronus going to get one in response, and I think that'll come through on towards Trouble. Flash over to try and facilitate a fight, and oh my god, it'll work. Owner for 2. What a flash from Trouble.
Solid look here as they try and keep things together. Still going to manage to create some space for that bomb plant. That's the big deal now. Ozik taking a wide one as well, as they're unafraid of these fights now. I mean, a big fan of the confidence to just try and even up the numbers and maybe even take the round into their own hands here. Julie's going to start closing the gap, and it's Trouble with the double headshot. 2 for 2. Super clean from him to close it out, and a big round overall with the 3K.
Yeah, he really did have a fantastic round of Counter-Strike there. Exactly kind of what you want to see to start things off, but this silver lining to be taken both ways. You know, you're looking at 1 win, you get a bomb plant coming through, and, you know, 3 kills, that facilitates an investment, generally speaking, towards the next round. Most teams would force buy here, but for Basement Boys, nice way to start, right? You're heading in towards your opponent's map pick, you get that pistol under your belt as well. It's not exactly where you want to be. Trouble, just a great round all in all. Not even just in terms of the kill, but he also gets those 2 assists as well. So he's involved in all 5 kills. And yeah, he's an absolute blinder there. And the hope is that, well, we can see a little bit more of that throughout this map, throughout this series. He's gone for that second round. Oh, and he's going to get tagged through the door.
Oh, no. Moving in here, looking to take matters into his own hands. Oh, that's rough. That is rough. First bullet was clean, but trade not quite there. Levantinho as well, going to find himself in a pretty awkward spot. Also only really able to get the necessary kill, but there's just nothing too impressive just yet. The Basement Boys getting aggressive doesn't really work out. It's actually the upper hand for 1 win now.
That's it. Spots one as he jumps back across. Probably looking really to trouble in this AWP. Try and do something, I guess, in a way, justify the investment. Oh my, well, Latic, another for him as Paul Bandana's caught. That's your anchor, your lurk player dropped. And Bosch answers one in response. Trouble's dead here, though. There's no way he checks this knife out as well. Dead to right. That's a freebie AWP picked up by Cronus. This round's falling flat so quickly for Basement Boys, and they're all left 2-1. It's Cronus who sees it off, and it's a really good round for him. Just patience pays off.
Yep, really solid. I mean, there are some questions to be asked of that round from the Basement Boys in particular, but they will be kicking themselves to not string them together. And this is, again, kind of what we expected from this matchup. A lot of fighting, a lot of scrapping, certainly what both teams enjoy, but also just the fact that it will be unpredictable and the rounds are not going to be easy to work with. Shot splits the difference there, it feels like. Doesn't spot them moving down below, but I'd say the setup is relatively prepared. Inters is here, holding cleanly, got some decent information, and of course this is a play that's based on a B-rush, which is never happening, so long control traded for 1 win, looking good.
Yeah, exactly that. Lurk smoke by the CTs, or I guess not even really a lurk, so we're just trying to slow them down more than anything. Levantinho, easy catch for Latic. Latic is very sharp with the when he gets going. I still remember him back in the Aurora days, really, really crisp when he kind of finds his form. It's just the only issue with Latic is being the issue of a lot of tier 2 players. It is that magic C word that we like to throw out, consistency, right? His skill ceiling is so unbelievably high, but he can go missing at times. Inters, nice find by him. Cronus, another. He's out the gates looking really quite confident, Cronus, which is exactly what you want to see in a matter of moments. Owner and Paul Bandana. I don't really know what they can do from this spot.
Yeah, as you would kind of expect, I think that they unfortunately don't have anything to write home about in this round. There's maybe a chance to isolate one of these players, but again, really well thought. From one win, they just spread out, make sure that everyone's got like a friend or someone to cover that gun. Hobbit creeping round. Legend of the game, of course, knows what's up, played his fair share of Dust2, I'm sure. So just keeping these pistols completely out of the question. You know, there's no chance they're going to get any rifles, get any guns into the next round. So smooth stuff from one win.
Yeah, no complaints. Really, really nice round to take, right? Just, oh, I heard someone die in there, but I can't even think who that would have been. Did you hear that as well? Or am I just losing?
Yeah, I did also hear that.
I just make sure I'm not losing my mind. This really died. It sounded like he got knifed. Okay.
I'm not sure.
I'll keep an eye on the
where the money's at. I don't know. Yeah, maybe check the old scoreboard.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it. So obviously a round and a bit behind. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. But either way, good round nonetheless. Lead for one win. And to add to kind of the troubles as well for Basement Boys, they just don't have anything to bring in towards this one, so it should be a lead extended without breaking too much of a sweat.
No, you would expect. So stack up on the short. See if they can catch a straggler here, which it certainly is possible, in all fairness. It doesn't seem like there's really too much action headed their way. All the same, still a lot of USPs and a Deagle, a 5-7 round this corner. So, I mean, I like the idea. Unfortunately, just not quite going to work for them. Inters does have to be careful now, though. He's been revealed. They've continued pushing forwards to try and eliminate this lurker. Take a 1-for-1. Get the gun out of there. Now they have a sort of decision to make. His armor for Pole Bandana. Well, it looks like they still just want to save this gun that they've managed to save and not give any more kills across.
Yeah. I think it's probably just the way to play it. Just a bit of the protect the president type vibes, right? You don't need to do anything too drastic here. Keep hold of that gun. If anyone tries to fight in your direction as well, just make sure the rifle's not really part of it. That's how that'd be the case. There's no real need for one win to be too aggro on the ecstasy there. So a pretty simple end as one win. Find a second there. No, the third, may I say. I just look at the scoreboard, by the way. I didn't see anything. Curious. Oh, curious.
Crazy. Maybe
actually, it was
living in a
turning
simulation.
2-1, wasn't it? It was 1-1 to 2-1 was when the noise got made. So it is technically still like a minute behind. So maybe.
Oh, right. Okay.
Wrong round. Still.
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
I heard a knife.
It is.
I heard
something very
die,
strange.
but then I can't really tell who it would have been.
Yeah, I know Inters, I caught him like buying up nades, and then he had an M4. Maybe someone's dropped him the M4. That was my best guess, was Inters. Oh, okay. Latic fully blind for that frag. Kind of a madman. Crazy work. We'll see here. This is a solid look for one win to kick off. Their Dust2 campaign is so far so good. Basement Boys as yet to really impress. You know, the pistol's nice, some individual moments, but we often say bit of a random element. Latic is a bit paranoid, shoots at the nade, but either way, still retaining this man advantage.
Oh, sick. His way forward. Oh, the flash The flash was there to bait out a fight, and well, it gets that. He has cross, though. This Orb's in a bit of trouble here. He's got to hit the shot, and trouble does, but a quick trade that comes through from Hobbit. Side's taken, and again, if we're being honest here, Scriv, that's the round done. You can't do anything if you're here, if you're Basement Boys. You just got to save.
Yeah, falling very, very flat in these rounds, aren't they, unfortunately? I think you can kind of see what they're trying to do, but one win are a couple steps ahead, really proving their comfortability on this map, and I think indeed it's somewhat expected. The Basement Boys kind of new kids on the block, at least in terms of the organization and whatnot, but yeah, one win are spamming the Dust2 as much as they possibly can.
Yeah.
So at the moment, proving that very, very much so.
Okay. One win, there's really nothing we can complain about them so far. It just looks so comfortable. The rounds really aren't even developing to being in any sort of contention at the moment. Very flat from Basement Boys, getting pulled apart. And they are trying to be a little proactive on that CT side, which I can always get behind. However, so far, to be Latic. Oh, he has hit a couple of corkers at the moment. The full blind one earlier, and now through the doors. That's what we're saying. His skill ceiling is so high.
Yeah, it's difficult. It is very difficult, I think. But one win with some really solid players at the moment. Oh, the Molotov is a little awkward. Nice find from Trouble. M4 isolated, able to get out of there, smoke down. So good, clean find here. As the Basement Boys have evened things back up just about. It is now into the later stage of the round, though. They're lacking some utility. Lacking some map control at the moment.
Waiting game. 50 seconds. And the decision to be made. Question being, where do we actually try and go from here? I mean, they're scaling up short, but they're going to realize there's a decent amount of presence here sooner rather than later, and I don't think they're going to give themselves enough time to actually bail out of it.
No, that is true.
That's the brute force.
Oh, the weird read coming in, though, unfortunately. Only one player on the site itself, and it's just a scout at the minute. Not really super impressive, or maybe, I'll take it back. That's the second scout headshot from Trouble that we've seen. The flank as well coming in at the perfect time. So maybe the best laid plans all coming together here. Man advantage and big damage done. It does actually even it up, though, with that frag, so problematic now. You don't quite know which way it's swinging. Goodness me, Bambosh goes super early into proceedings. He felt something, and well, whatever he was feeling was indeed correct. Super clean.
Yeah, fair play. Fair play. 4-2, and you know we do need to start seeing Basement Boys find a little bit of form. The big thing is here is just make sure this is not a flash in the pan, right? Let's start building a bit of consistency. Bambosh does very, very well. I think he gets away with that flank, but they're in two minds of whether they kind of focus on punishing him or whether they continue to move in towards the site. In the end, they leave him sort of not unchecked, but undealt with, let's put it. Most them down, so great work from him. Oh, Bandana tagged early. Trouble. With this orb going looking towards suicide. Nothing there just yet, but he actually missed the timing slightly because it was a bit of a move. I think somebody just dropped in, or they at least went looking for it. We'd had that angle for a little bit longer. Latic's now posted there, which makes life very difficult.
Big damage. We've got Trouble trained in, and he's on a real sniper this time. He was pretty effective on the scout, so curious to see here what he's able to do. At the moment, not all that much. One win on a full turtle setup. It is safe to say, very far away from the action at the moment. Slowly making their way in. And we'll see here. This boost, with good timing, could be pretty effective. Trouble doesn't quite know where to train his crosshair, and unfortunately, he is not fast enough for that flick.
Levantino. They're contacting this. Well, they're making noise. So I could go down. Like I say, even if he naded not to break the smoke, but naded just for the sake of dropping it, he probably gets a lot of damage, but that break open of the smoke costs him his life. Latic, one found. Owner up close as well. That Molly won't do a thing to him, and he lines up two, looks for the third as well. Okay, enters. He's gone for two quite quickly. 15 seconds, but the orbs here, they've got to recover the bomb. Oh my god, he can't get out now. He's got to fight on towards Trouble. He's got to try and kill him, and Trouble hits the flick. What a mental round as Trouble bails them out again.
Yeah, going to keep looking towards him, I suppose. There are a couple elements of the Basement Boys that are missing ever so slightly, but he seems to be putting them in the backpack at the moment. Still, for me, it's going to be difficult, right? You can't keep relying on rounds like that moving forwards. I think they know that fact, so we'll see if there is a change-up on the cards for the Basement Boys. In the same vein, one win. Very quickly have run out of ideas there, I think, you know, and this round looks super, super similar, so it's a big swing round, big swing moment in this first half.
Okay. Nade could soften up. Hobbit just dips away in time, so it doesn't deal that much damage. Pretty back and forth affair, though. It felt like one win were going to run away with things. You know, sitting 4-1, the rounds they were finding were actually really quite easy, but these last couple starting to convince us just a little bit more of what they're all about. I'm not going to count out Basement Boys just yet. They've been able to scalp some really decent teams so far this year. They've really made a name for themselves.
Oh, the creep forwards here. A little deeper than you would expect him to get, but he manages to, creep in and escape. Yeah, fully getting away there. Meanwhile, over on the B-bomb site, still not quite biting. Plenty of information to work with. Flash comes in. Always a strong angle. I'd say the utility usage, though, is a little weak from this B defense. Only one for owner. It's not going to be enough, of course, to make a big difference here. And solid advantage now. Probably the round for one win, even. It felt like they were in the right place. You know, breaking into B that easily is unheard of.
Eventually trying to bank this nade to get a back box player, and you know, normally that can do a bit of damage, but reposition. Latic flashed off the angle and probably going to be called upon. It's Cronus who hits the shot. Latic, right idea. Oh, he's panicked. He's flustered. The Glocks are out. The Glocks are out, and Latic and Cronus combine. Oh my, that was a little janky for a moment when Latic misses both of those shots. I think get concerned for a second. Thankfully, it's okay. And ends up being kind of a nice position once again for one win. They can continue building upon this T side. You get 6 rounds T side does too. I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I'd definitely say so. And I think getting them this early as well, you know, gives a lot of scope to one win. So Basement Boys, a couple moments so far in this game where I think they kind of have to blame themselves, in all honesty, Neo, right? We had the
I agree.
Follow-up Force Spy, right? They kind of get questionably aggressive. I mean, if it works, it feels like a genius idea. That's fair enough. That's splitting hairs. But also in that round that we've just seen, they were in position to devastate the B hit and just didn't really do anything. So, damp squib, as a friend of ours might say. And I feel like this is unfortunately what's happening to the Basement Boys at the moment. So timeout comes in. Not expecting too much out of this round unless we get this hero orb doing something. It's all about the next, staying hot on the heels of one win.
Okay. Cronus has just walked all the way up. They're full contacting up short now. trouble is he's really going to realize actually just how damning the position he's in. There's the shell shock basement boys by the thought process. I guess maybe the pace in which they've got up short, but that was not considered at all.
Yeah. Another flat round, though. We do have the MP9 here. Oh, it's unlucky. Gun difference getting in the way. And now maybe a mission to retrieve the orb. I mean, if they're smart about it, it'll be out of the map. Pretty easy to do. But, yeah, not really expecting too much. A dull silence in the T-spawn, for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, again, for basement boys, it's just that lack of consideration that it is a possibility. You can really see at the moment just how the reps are really paying off for this one win side. It's a nice hunt right at the end there as well. Nothing saved, nothing gained for basement boys. And it's 6 rounds T side. Like we said, you know, you get 6 rounds T side. I'm pretty damn happy with that. And at the moment, they're putting themselves in a really comfortable spot to maybe even run away with the first half to the point where it's irreversible, unfortunately, for the basement boys. They're in a, honestly, kind of a precarious spot.
Oh, okay. Trouble is just
deleted
on another level with the scout. He's a criminal with that thing. Maybe keep him on that instead of the AWP.
Gotta be said, he's looking really crisp in it. Despite maybe like basement boys as a whole looking a little off their game, he's keeping up his level.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to see now if it makes a difference. The setup down below as well. A little unorthodox here from the basement boys. They clear out the upper. They sit in lower and they will catch 2 pretty easily. So solid look now and panic setting in for one win. Ozik with this bomb, just trying to be the hero. Oh my goodness. Crisp as you like. Back to a 2-on-2, but there's another member in the lower tunnels. Owner, his instincts working against him, unfortunately. Bambosh, meanwhile, yeah, not ready for this move. Beautiful from one win, and Ozik has taken the round into his own hands. A 4-piece from him and 3 kills just all on his own. All from his own ideas. Absolutely ridiculous. The basement boys, unless Owner can save this, are going to have egg all over their face here now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that he really fancies it, unfortunately. He's got info on 1, but where is this next man? He's not been seen for a long time.
Yeah, what can you actually do from this sort of a spot? He might actually have to opt for the save here again, unfortunately. Ozik's done so well. Kind of feels like a shame that he doesn't get the ace in all fairness, but man alive, what a round coming through, and another 1 for 1 win where they just continue to build upon this repertoire, the T side. Super impressive what we're seeing. They're guaranteed the lead now as well. Owner will get one at the end, and actually with Ozik falling, it's still an expensive round to 1 win, but this late in the half, I mean, really, who cares, right? They've got so much money to work with. It is absolutely fine. It is a fantastic spot they're in now, though. 1 win. The way they're playing at the moment and the way it's just been such a mismatch in terms of, I guess, more understanding of the map itself, I can't see a world in which basement boys can recover this. They'd have to do something so emphatic on the T side.
Just let the nades ring out. Not really too much presence from the basement boys, as we have seen them with key bits of aggression. I mean, you know, previous round is a really, really great setup to get them the initial kills, but there's some execution issues, I think, in places. Once in a while, though, there is going to be that individual pop-off. It's just unfortunate that it's in such a key round for you. Inters, off angle, clean as you like, will get traded. It still looks good. It gives a lot of information to the CT side, though, that there's not really any B side presence for now.
Flashing. No one there, though. The default for 1 win has been this pack mentality up towards short, and we are getting to that point now. They've done it so many times this half, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're going to get that plant here. They can plant for sure, and they will do exactly that. And they don't even really need to face long. They can just leave Cronus here behind a smoke, Hobbit's another one as well as Ozig, so they can replenish that one front sight, which makes it so difficult to scale up and get on towards the site itself. Just leaving Chronos there you go. They're going to re-smoke it again. It's the perfect way to play this. He doesn't even need to peek. Maybe if they send him in with a flash, but for the most part, this angle is so strong, and he's going to hit the shot. Latic, one of his own. Hobbit will add to the tally too, and Paul Bandana, no choice but to keep hold of this big green if he can. The spam is getting eerily close, and he will get out of it. That's an 8-4-1 win. They are running away with this first half. There is no contest.
Terrorists win.
Yes, really looking bad to worse for the Basement Boys, unfortunately. We've seen flashes of brilliance, but just not quite on their mark. And I don't want to say it's a trend, but there's a few maps here or there where I think they just struggle and can't quite get themselves the round wins, you know, and I think it has been a bit of a rough week for them as well, just kind of looking over where the results are. Some really close games and then some really one-sided games as well, right? It can be very tough. Latic, okay, shutting me up.
Again.
We're back in the action there. We're back in the game. Concentrate on that. One win, looking to end this one with some violence out long.
It's the second time he's got that shot. And he hits another on towards Levantino as well. Oh, man. It goes from bad to worse for Basement Boys right now. This no contest is... It's getting ugly. 9 is beckoning, and I think you've got to save. Or, well, there's no point saving. It's round 12, but, like, what can you actually do? You can't do anything this round. It's a 2 versus 5. You've got a molly on the retake. That's it. You've only got 1 kit. Like... There's just no way you're getting up in towards this site. This is 9-3. There's no 2 ways about it. 1 win, a 5v2, and you're retaking with an orb, molly, 1 kit. This is next to impossible, and Owners left with it all to do. Full blind and seen off by Latic. It is a monstrous first half from 1 win. What a showing from them, and they do it with style. We're going to head to a break. We'll see you in a moment.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of on my feet when I touch the ground. Front of A to Beijing, man, ain't know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll, Lex account a blue face. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on the better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down.
Welcome back in. There was not much of a contest, if I'm being completely honest, in that first half. 9-3 from 1 win. They made it look so easy. Effortless is another way of putting it. Basement Boys need a completely different T-side if they want a chance of getting in towards this game. Early long presence is the play for Basement Boys as they actually do get out of Longhouse. They got this control at the very least, and I kind of respect this from 1 win. Flash off the angle, fall all the way back to side. We don't need to fight.
Yeah, I mean, they're just so in the upper hand, right, with a scoreline like this. I think there's going to be a lot of confidence in terms of their decision-making. So just looking to keep it simple and maybe even keep it a little bit annoying, you might say, right, to play against. So I think certainly going to be very curious as to how the Basement Boys plan on pulling things back here. Inters has been sat waiting for an awfully long time. If they play this right, they might be able to catch him and, you know, ahead of the smoke and all this. Really depends on what the peak looks like, and it will be utility first. So he's set up and ready on the Julies. Flash comes over the top as well to assist him. It's a little messy as you would expect. However, the utility good. The Glocks, of course, love the up-close fights. Nice Molotov to keep Window at bay. No rush for the plant. Just see if there's any more madness coming their way. Push through a smoke, fly out window, something along those lines. So just going to try and reset the game ever so slightly. Now they will come flying in. But the setup is good, and it doesn't work. 1 for 3 in favor of the Basement Boys.
Yeah, okay. So that's what they needed, right? You know, you
had the sound again, by the way.
Yeah, maybe it
had
is
someone
just...
died sound, but no one died.
Okay, it is the that really did kind of bug me out. I was looking at the scoreboard at the end, and yeah, nothing had happened when it happened earlier. So yeah, it is maybe just like a little bug. Who would have thought? But anyway, yeah, it's a really nice round to take for Basement Boys. It's just so important. I think more than anything, you know, we're looking at this side who had such a dire first half that if they didn't get out of the gate strong in towards the second, they basically have no chance in this map. So at the very least, it's eased a bit of the pressure. There's no bite coming through for 1 win bar, a couple of 5-7, so it shouldn't really be anything too special. You get a couple of constellation kills, you take it, but I can't see them doing anything in this one. The other thing is really, you don't want to feed the Mac 10 too much either.
Owner. Creeping, having a look. Oh, yeah, gotta be careful. Here's the footsteps. Will go down. It's a little awkward. The feed of the Mac-10 not going to happen. Another pistol kill coming in. I think they've still got control of the round, but just some overwhelm in places is certainly getting in the way. Ozik hidden down. Looking to creep up. Yeah, there you go. I mean, they still managed to just nick away a couple of kills here. That's going to be the bomb dropped. I have the belief in the Basement Boys to get it done, but it is not for free. It is not without damage or cost. Galil, that's unfortunate. If he'd taken his time, I think he may well have earned that kill, but unfortunately not the case. Down goes Ozik, down goes the 5-7, and now it is the Galil that was thinking about saving and definitely is going to save now.
Yeah, no, I think it's just the right call, right? But again, it's a round where we said for 1 win, get a couple of kills, you'll be right, you get 3. So I don't even think it's that bad. 3 in a save Galil. Inter can just use it towards the next round, sit on a little bit more cash. Silver linings and all the rest, as we kind of like to put it. But Basement Boys, they should be taking that round every day of the week, and they are. That's the kind of the main takeaway, and they can start, once again, slowly but surely chipping away at this deficit. It's a 5. 4 rounds they've got to find, and, you know, that's only a couple of gun rounds. It's definitely doable. I'm not going to count them out by any means. Oh, well, the buy comes back in. Latic on towards the AWP. That's the big thing I'm looking at here. Latic was a menace on the T side AWPing at Dust2. CT side could be even better. Form of the moment for him looks excellent, right? And if we can get that in exactly the same fashion, Basement Boy is going to struggle. He's going to play out towards long as well because he got the spawn. Flash comes over, ineffective towards him. Molly down as well as a smoke on the corner. He's gonna try and play in front of it. He threads the needle between the two. Another pop shot as well that can't quite connect. And Ozik is in trouble here.
I mean, they're just making an absolute mess. However,
no way.
and yeah, he's able to work around it. The fact that he gets away with one, pretty solid. Don't quite know what's happened to that nade, but it does indeed exist. It is one of the throws of all time. Hobbit chilling around here. Attic, a dangerous move. Oh, and he feels like he's cleared it. And they've crept under his crosshair. So we're going to find out here. Yeah, he's lining up a smoke. He is none the wiser. Wow. Wow. The timing on the creep is kind of insane. Cronus keeping the dream alive, however, and actually getting them the man advantage here. As they look set to lose the A bomb side, but the retake, I feel, is definitely doable.
Hobbit sneaking through the smoke. I like this. There's a bit of a gap to work with. He actually might be able to cross towards ramp. If he can get ramp side, that puts him in a really decent spot. Swing. It's Cronus who actually does find that first. Oh, and Hobbit swings for the second. Nice retake. Kind of really nicely done. I think those kills that Cronus gets, especially the initial kind of 2 out towards long, is super, super important, right? That 30 gets goes a hell of a long way, but it's those first 2 that give the numbers advantage over. Ozik never should be getting away with 1 kill. That's the first and kind of foremost thing. Never should get this luxury, but it's these ones here from Cronus, right? Gets this, and it gives them the luxury of just falling away through that smoke and giving themselves a bit of time to reset before the retake. Effective work, and they double the rounds once again of 1 win, 10-5.
Yeah, looking good. Looking very, very good. And again, sort of picking up where they had left off. Which I think is somewhat fair at this point. Still looking to be a really, really solid Dust2 team. And I think Basement Boys know that that was kind of the round to convince themselves that they could close the gap at least simply. Now it's going to be a lot of work and kind of an uphill battle here as well. So, a simple B contact move. The spot will come in. It's still peak from Hobbit, but 1 for 1, maybe not quite good enough. Enters as well, as you see, unexpected of how deep they've made it in. And that's how you take the B bomb site, is just cause panic, you know, just make B players feel uncomfortable. They've done just that win the round off the back of it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think you want to retake this with an AWP there. They're obviously not going to go for it, but it's so difficult to do it. And unfortunately, the other thing as well is that it's kind of easy for them to exit out somewhat safely. So I can understand 1 win not even want to sit anywhere near this. That'll be that. It's a good round for Basement Boys, right? It shows that they do have a couple of those quicker ones in the wheelhouse too. Important stuff. It's good to get the saves out here. Buying around it is possible in towards the next, which is important. I think primarily having that AWP still in play is the big thing. You lose this next round though for 1 win, and the door opens up ever so slightly once again, and that's where things can become, kind of damning. This next round for Basement Boys is probably the most important one they've played thus far, maybe bar getting the pistol itself. You can get round number 17. Econ shattered over towards 1 win. You're up to 7. The 8's a gift, and that's 1 gun round being the difference between this deficit that you're in and you tying up the game.
Yeah, 100%. Really getting interesting now. As maybe for the first time in perhaps the entire game, it feels like the Basement Boys have won the unlike, you know. So they have to be able to capitalize now. Keep it together. I think an important game here, one they know that they can win, and one that allows them to make a really good case they can contest with these extremity kind of teams within the tier 2. Only time will tell, at least here on Dust 2. Decent damage done. We have that short control to work with.
It's an important part of the map to get. It's something that 1 win just used so often against the Basement Boys side. They would take short control, and then actually more often than not, they would just contact up as a pack. And it's so difficult to deal with because you don't want to fight too aggressively there, because if you're the first to fall, then it really opens up for them to just immediately pull the trigger and run in towards the site. But then at the same time, you don't want to play too passive either, Because once they start getting towards the box, it's so hard to slow them down at that point. 35 seconds and Molly down. One win have got to make a decision. They're going to leave this one late as well. I don't always love these sort of plays, and Levantino is very lucky to stay alive.
Yeah, just about. Certainly going to have an effect, though, I think, as we move on. Paul Bandana, meanwhile, moving up middle. Oh, it's so awkward, yeah, and it's a nice setup. They were kind of ready for that. It felt like one or two of the players not quite sure. The issue here is just so locked in with it being dropped right at the feet. Not enough time for Bambosh to get in, get out, get the plan. Yeah, some frustration there. It's unfortunate. I think if the bomb had spilled a bit further so that it wasn't as well covered by those players in CT, something goes the way of the basement boys, and I think it could have made a difference.
Yeah, I think that molly that comes down, 35 seconds, that sort of maybe internally is like, oh, hang on, do we actually want to give this a go now? It's just that retraction they go for, it's tough to watch. 11 now as well, and do or die, basically, for basement boys in this map. You're looking at them now where they've had to force buy into this. Don't really have too much of a choice because of double eco situations, but you lose this, squad for one win, you got no money, that's it, right? So this is the now or never, and they're going to go towards B. The two players here to meet them, intercept range and Hobbit in support. You've got the Vets on the B side, and the Vets are locking it down. Hobbit for 2, Latic will go over for support, and that'll be that, not only in this round, but if we're being honest, probably the map too.
Yep, certainly feels that way. Tech9 still in action. Yes, indeed. As well shown here, the bomb nowhere near owner. So they know they don't really have to get too crazy here. Cronus still feels kind of crazy, and he will get the kill. So 6 rounds to the good now. Basement boys, certainly not a complete capitulation, but never really getting off the ground. A few nice moments here or there. Couple of rounds in that first half, I think, where they will be really disappointed in the way that they turn out. You know, could have certainly won them. But that would maybe put us at like 12-9 at this pace, right? If things had carried on the same as they have in our reality. So we'll see at the moment if the basement boys can give us a bit more, but not looking too likely.
Let's see. Tech9's out. A lot of flashes here. They're actually trying to escape. Oh, Cronus and Hobbit combined. That could be curtains already as well, as Bambosh going to take a lot of damage, but they are still giving them some sort of fights. Let's not overface it.
It's kind of the hitting 12 confidence, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
I think we've seen this many times. Great little flash in there. Kind of a self-flash, it looks like, from Latic. That might sway the tides well enough to take this over the line. Got them at bay, slowed them down, you know, that was the scary thing with these pistols. If they move with pace and close the gap and whatnot, it can be very, very worrying. But not the case here. Oh, a little bit of a spot, some spamming through the smoke. Pretty effective from the Deagle, actually. Nearly finding the kill. But it does feel at this point that we're somewhat delaying the inevitable.
Okay, but yeah.
One of the flashes.
Delaying the inevitable. There it is. The inevitable finally comes. It was a little messy right at the end there, but in the end, seen off. And you know, you got to give credit. Everything from the get-go, one win just looked excellent, didn't they? All the way through. You can see why that's such a well-repped map for them. Basement boys, they had flashes of brilliance, but they just couldn't compete, not only in terms of the head-to-heads, but just the game plan.
Yeah, fully agreed. I think maybe just not quite as comfortable. Welcome back in. We are here with map number 2, one win with kind of a statement on that first map. Dust2 is a really solid one for them. They proved it. Basement boys maybe could have squeezed out a couple more rounds if they'd played to that highest percentage, but unfortunately not the case, not how it goes down. We're now here on Ancient. Another high rep map for 1win, but maybe not quite as effective on it. So we go into this one a little more tentatively.
Yeah, let's see. A lot of information heard. Hobbit's actually basically stuck here. He's got to try and brawl his way out. It starts well, but he's having to reload. They both have to reload. Hobbit should be dead. How is he still alive? Molly round the corner. Hobbit repositions, and Owner will finally see him off. But this puggy style of play that Basement Boys have tried to bring in towards Ancient has been at the cost of their own lives. Trouble seen off by Latic. Oh, that did not go to plan. They tried to play loose and fast in towards that mid position, and well, they got decimated actually quite quickly.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the key split this evening. It feels like some of the tactical ideas, some of the aggression that we saw on like the CT side from Basement Boys, pretty solid, but it just feels like the guns, the 1v1s, the shots are not quite landing. So yeah, definitely a little difficult in that sense. I think it's safe to say, and we'll see if that continues to be the case. You know, it sometimes can just be that simple, unfortunately, Nao, that it's like, it's just not your night, not your game in terms of the individuality. So, yeah, Basement Boys going to have their work cut out for them once again. It's not a full, clean slate here on to Ancient.
Yeah, like we said for Basement Boys, we're still just not convinced at the moment, and that pistol round doesn't help this sort of narrative. Doors smoked. Guns behind it. Owner making a lot of noise, and they'll just re-smoke. They don't need to really fight, to be honest. It's the low buy for Basement Boys, as you would expect.
Yeah, just chilling. Just relaxing.
This is the existence timeout right here.
Yeah, it is, man. It is. It's you know, one of the ways of doing it. I'm somehow okay. Team killing there as well. I was gonna say I'm somehow glad it's still alive, but also I'm a fan of when teams just absolutely send it in a Glock round. To be fair, and just get it over and done with, right? But
yeah,
there are many different ways of doing it. Yeah, yeah, of course.
I actually think as well, if you're gonna like come in with, you know, next to nothing, right? Fly into the fights. Why not, right? You know, like he's like, just, if you're going to do something a little bit rogue, be full rogue with it in a sense.
Yeah, I would say so. But I think it's also just like, especially early on in the game, early on in the half, and I think this is maybe why they're not as popular or didn't really catch on all that much as a timeout idea. It's just like, it's kind of overthinking it, you know? It's your first gun round. Maybe just get in there and find frags. And, you know, Owner listens and does just that. So, solid control here at the B-bomb site. Mr. Hobbit anchoring away in Cave. I think they're quietly aware of the fact there could still be a player in towards this B-bomb site, in towards Cave. Bomb going to get dropped in an awkward spot now. A creep through the smoke as well. What is going on here? Aventino will just about manage to hear them out. Hobbit, though, drops a low HP. Trouble as he tries to plant in again. Owner going to fall next. It's all on the one man. The crazy move forwards. He does even it down to the 1v1. Hobbit's very low, but this is a mad round. No idea how this is going to finish.
Aventino, 45 points of HP. Hobbit, 19. He's just sneaking in behind. He's got to get in behind as well. It was a ring around the roses game. It's who spots who first. And Hobbit just about gets in behind there at the right time. Oh my, it's so close. It's actually a bit of a heartbreaking one in a way for Basement Boys. It's the best round we've seen from them thus far. But not to be. It's just that denial of the plant, I think, is the one thing that really cooks them.
Yeah, just complete pandemonium, complete chaos, right? And a breakdown of the communication. And it does seem to be something that maybe gets away from this Basement Boys team from time to time. So I think completely fair. But we'll see now as we get back into things. Basement Boys, again, we're seeing flashes within rounds, but it's just the final few moments that really are letting them down. You know, they got 80% of the way there in a number of rounds on Dust 2. It seems to be plaguing them again here at the start of Ancient. See if they can get anything done on this lower buy.
Let's see. Oh, Cronus open things up. Levantino had the right idea, but can't capitalize upon. And Cronus going to re-aggress. Ooh, this could work quite nicely. Poppin's behind this smoke, but these guys don't have the best of guns. Cronus, oh, mows down 3. Given the ace, why not? It's Ono with it left. All to do. Bombs put forward as well. So last man now seen off. Will he get it? Yes, he will. Or 5 for Cronus. What a round coming through from him just to dispel any narrative about that one.
Beautiful stuff as you see it on the replay. Really, really solid. And Cronus, certainly a name that I think you'd maybe be forgiven for being less familiar with. You know, I think playing in the kind of academy system for a while with 1 win and then getting, you know, moved up to the team essentially, to the main team. So certainly not a big name. He's not been within tier 2 for a long time and trying to work it through. And, you know, someone like Latic, for example, or Inters that's played in many different teams. But pretty solid round from him there.
Love to see it. 1 win. Continue this pretty emphatic run, if I'm being honest. It's been pretty fun to watch as well. They're looking, yeah, really quite sharp. A lot of damage though early doors to Levantino and Ona. It's already 1 win, got that leg up. Not a lot of, well, next to no residual cash for Basement Boys too. Lose this round. When we get the 5th, but the 6th is basically a gift. And at that point, we're already getting it to a horrible spot. Latic, right at there. Throws blood in the water. It's the shot and gets out as well. Nice movement for him. Refaces but doesn't shoot for whatever reason.
Oh, Levantino in from behind here. Not quite the double. But maybe a brief moment. We'll see. The bomb is isolated pretty massively. I think he's nervous to try and get this bomb down. A really weird sort of game state as well, as Ozik is somehow in behind him. This is all over the place right now. Down goes Ona, down goes the support, the bomb desperately trying to move forwards and just thin the herd a little. Not going to happen. Latic with a big round now. So we're trading individual moments, it would seem. Latic in this round is the one to do it.
Yeah. Ah, man. Latic is such a fun player when he's on form. I'm so surprised that actually that mid play actually even progresses because he was spotted. I think it was by Inters who ran out, spotted him, but it wasn't commed, it seemed. Anyway, cost them briefly, but 5-0 start for 1 win. I'm very, very concerned already for Basement Boys. This entire series, we're still yet to see anything that really warrants them having a chance of getting in towards this map. It's kind of been a little bit non-existent, which is not where we want to be.
No, I'm certainly in agreement. Difficult to say here. And I mean, they're going to have to just turn things around. It's a rough kind of series. And as I say, it's been a bit of a rough week. This is something like mentally that you have to get behind and have to figure out. So within the map of Ancient, can the Basement Boys keep it together here? Another low buy, another hero AK making itself known. Levantino going to be the first to go down. The AWP as well getting involved here. Whoa, that's awfully close for the second, but not quite going to happen. So solid advantage, but still a slim chance for the Basement Boys.
Oh, hang on. Own up. Finds Cronus. Important kill. Cronus has been super influential through ramp. He's been getting so much free real estate as well down there. So cutting him off short will help. Still, numbers is advantage. You've got that hero AK of Own up still in play, but I mean, this still feels like a really difficult round to convert. And there's 2 players in the direction of B ready to fight. One through long, one through short. And 45 seconds to make a decision.
Latic smoked off. So maybe some legs behind this. We'll see if they can convert. Molotov makes life awkward. Latic dinked off. Lucky to be alive. Lucky it wasn't an AK on the other end of that. Another Molotov. Still want to go for the safe plan. There is maybe an argument to be made. Just get that damn bomb down. Hobbit's in behind, and he's going to deny that chance. So for a moment, there was an opportunity. It slips through their fingers, and 1win keep the streak going.
There we go. 6-0. It continues to be a tough watch. I mean, that round we're not expecting fireworks, but there felt like a brief moment where maybe something could have come to the forefront, but yeah, not to be. I don't know about you, Script, but I'm already starting to feel like we're at the beginning of the end. As much as that feels wild to say, Basement Boys do just look a little bit all over the place. It's not been a good map for them so far. And again, it goes back to the 1win who played this map a lot. But that's a nice little double nade setup. Ozic will start the round out 11 points of HP. That'll help at the very least. Inter's trying to play in front of that smoke via shelf. He needs to be very careful, but trying to support Hobbit in through elbow here.
Cronus opening up on the other side. It's actually a fast move, a little buddy system coming in to overwhelm the B-bomb site, try and change things up ever so slightly, which we're certainly fans of. Whether it works out for them is another question. Bambosh going to go down over on A. And this is the difficulty of a round like this. How do you bring it together? You have to be very careful. Everyone's split. Are we all getting aggressive? Is it now more of a structured round because we've got control of B and they've lost a couple players in the interim here? Not quite sure how to rejoin their teammates. Trouble with a big fine on the quick flank, though. And this is the position. Paul Bandana. They know about him, but how does he play this? How does he move through here? A lot of low HP bars. Nice find as Trouble keeps them coming. Huge in the post. Just a couple more, and you can see they're very tentative with an AWP
Shot.
trained in. And Ozic incredibly low. How do you play this? I mean, this AWP is not going anywhere, but there's still time.
Yeah,
it's still just about time. He gets onto the bomb. It's going to be awfully close. It is going to be very, very close, but I think he's got time. Oh, man. The bar almost closed out. There's got to be a second in that. And 1win, insult to injury as they just keep them coming.
Yeah, and this is the awkward thing, unfortunately, with this Basement Boy side, where it is, you know, they're getting close, but no cigar. And this is the thing that's going to kill them. It really breaks the mental a little bit because you are right there grasping around finally, and it just gets ripped away at the final hurdle. Again. Well, 7-0, 7-round CT side already. Yes, it's a map in which is still considered CT sided, but not as much as it once was. So this is really damning. Tino trying to contact his way through, and he does get out of elbow and through mid. It's Owner who opens things up, and credit to him, Owner, these last few rounds are still trying to be a bit of a menace, and it's sort of working. Ozic needs to be careful. He's been given the luxury of getting out. I don't know if the same can be said for Latic, but it's Ozic who bails him out. Oh my, he's got him to thank for that. Those 2 kills go such a long way.
Crazy work once again. Trouble trained in. Could get this. Oh, gets a nade out. Missed shot from the AWP. Might make all the difference. I mean, time will tell. Hobbit is ahead of the utility ever so slightly, but there's no rush. We got a mid player as well. Oh, that is unfortunate. Kill through the smoke. Never going to be nice. Hobbit left incredibly low, but the flash allows him to respond, and it's Owner in from behind. I still have a bit of faith in him, but he walks straight into the crosshair. Latic is too smart. 1win, keep it going.
Oh, man. 8-0. Tough watch for Basement Boys. It does start to feel like they are quite mentally checked out right now. Again, we're getting these flashes. I think Owner's still being a bit of a kind of a nuisance and a problem to deal with, but for the most part, outside of that, there's not loads really. Paul Bandana, Bambosh struggling to really get anything on the table here. It's rough. The nades come over and Ozic again going to get tagged up. Didn't learn his lesson from the last few rounds where the nades have been raining over. He just continues to run his way forward, but he's still alive, so who cares, right? If you take damage but you're still getting the kills, it doesn't matter. Smoke down. Enters. Oh, I was going to say, there's a chance to mow down there. He tags both, and Owner's so lucky. 1 point of HP.
Very lucky indeed. Cronus in a decent spot here if he plays his cards right, but all going to depend on how the Basement Boys want to make this work. I mean, it has to be the best spot they've been in for a while, the simplest spot, right? 5v4 early on. Let's make that work. Molotov goes in, acts as a bit of a flash to just confuse proceedings, I suppose. Is it still going to be enough? And difficult to tell. Is it a B hit? We don't rightly know. Both B defenders are pretty firmly split now as well. Hobbit turns away from the flash. He does manage a stray bullet there to find the kill on Paul Bandana. Ahead of this molly now as well. The bomb will make its way in. A messy take on B, but they do just get it in. Flank is here from Cronus. Very, very quick indeed. It's just another messy round. Latic chimes through. Down to just one all of a sudden, and man, the Basement Boys just cannot keep it together, can they?
Just as I said, this could be it. This could have been it. Bomb down, 3 versus 3, and then they just isolate themselves, right? They make it way too easy for 1 win on the retake. Over fights, over peaks, and it all falls flat. And even Cronus moving his way around, they don't hold for that. They give it a little look over, they check there, but he'd actually snuck his way in towards Cubby already. There's no one holding for that level of an extremity. It's tough to watch. 9-0. Looks like this one might be a sharpest finish to this map. We already spoke about how 1win do like to play this map. They've got like 20 reps in it the last 3 months. The Basement Boys picking into this has been pretty damning for them. Run boost. Not running or boosting, really.
Happens once in a while. Hobbit gonna get in the mixer here as there's many smokes in the way, but he does manage a kill. Nice little aid frag, however. So again, we're on the side of the Basement Boys, you know, 13-0, nobody wants to see it. It can be a little difficult to watch.
Yourself.
Okay, well, fair enough. I mean,
I want to see it. I haven't seen one in a while. When was the last time you cast one? It's been a minute for me.
That is a good question. Probably like a couple of years, honestly. Like,
yeah,
a full 13-0. It's been a while. And we might be getting one here as we talk about it, to be honest. Another
2v2
keen round for the Basement Boys falling flat.
2v2 though. And the flank's on. Latic's dead. Oh, I speak too soon. Oh my god. Latic, will he check? He will, but he'll still die all the same. All on the shoulders of the vets. No one's checking. What are we doing? They walk into each other and then the Hobbit's open to trouble. So Basement Boys finally get around just as we brought up the notion of a 13-0. It very quickly escapes.
Yeah, like I say, probably for the best. It can be a little difficult to watch, but I don't know, and also difficult to cast. But I know you're a bit of a villain. You love
yeah.
Called like Schadenfreude, you know, taking joy in other people's
Freud?
misery or something.
I don't know.
Something to do with him. Something, maybe.
Really?
I think it's just German. Yeah, he's in there, mate. He's in there. He's done quite a bit. Freud.
Yeah, a bit too much at times, some would say.
True. That's well, yeah.
9-1. 1 win have been doing a lot. They'll be looking great. I don't really think that round being found by Basement Boys is really going to change things all too much. I mean, even if they were to get 3 for the half, will it make a difference? Or trouble? You got to hit those. Got to hit those. That was a bit of a gift, and now your own quantity. You've tried to contact up, and they'll be aware of this being a possibility that they're up close.
Orp goes in first. ahead of the smoke. And Cronus has got the right idea. You feel like you'd want the M4 here, honestly. Yeah. Works so well for him. And with a move like that, it might just be enough. Latic continues the open kills. So they don't look set to contest all that much. Zik, head on a swivel, finds his kill. So the Basement Boys may well have fended off the 13-0, but it's not like they're going to turn down, unfortunately. Double digits now for one win.
Yeah, I mean, this half, and basically probably this map is already a bit of a write-off. 10-1. It is just so fun to watch in a sense of like seeing the highs of one win. But yeah, I do agree with you, right? It's tough to watch with this Basement Boys side who've actually had decent peaks like this year. You know, we were discussing a little bit in the break, but kind of Dracula and obviously they had a really good run. That's where they got the bulk of their ranking points. They were proving that they could go toe-to-toe with some decent tier 2 teams there. And unfortunately, when we look at them now, there's just not loads to love. Levantino, that's too easy. Goes ahead of the Util. Latic re-peeks in, still unblinded, unfazed, and it buys time for the support. 11-1. That round sums up that half. What a showing from one win. Beautiful stuff. We're going to see if they can continue it, but we'll do that after the break.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these restless nights, all these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 80 Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could light the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble.
Welcome back in here to the second half. It might be a brief half, unfortunately. Only the one round for the Basement Boys. It has not been their night. That is for damn sure. We're also here as well. Worth bearing in mind in the lower bracket side of things. So this will be tournament life very quickly on the line. If not, a little dead, beating the dead. At this point, it feels like Julie's out for trouble. Maybe the CT side can give us something different to work with. Time will tell. There is a kit available. There's some utility as well for the basement boys. It's going to be a B execute in from the T side, and they're not wasting any time getting in here. They'll gain that control. Is there room for the bomb plant, though, is going to be the big question here. Levantino goes unchecked. Plucks one out of the air as well. So a pretty decent...
What?
Left low, but he just keeps the kills coming on in.
Ow.
It's going to be Cronus all alone. How has he gotten away with that? Kit on that bomb. Round will be over. Surely. And my goodness, yeah, Cronus has conceded it. He's going to give it across and just take his armor into... Well, he doesn't even have armor, I suppose, so just take his life into the next. Goodness me, what a moment there from Levantino.
Yeah, that... Some of those shots he just hit, it also looked as well like he was not like panic flicking, just like purposely like over flicking, but they were connecting. Man, those were some nut shots because he was shooting and like 180ing straight away. Mental work from Levantino. Needed a bit of a hero. They get it. And Basement Boys, at least for now, stay afloat, which is something I definitely didn't expect, to be honest.
And Bosch creeping in here. Going to be activated in just a moment. A little shaky from him. Tech 9 out as well. Trade will be there instantly, so looks good. The A main take successful. That's going to be the bomb drop. Decent information. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, Inters and Latic will try and recover what they can.
Any kills on kind of the end would be nice. Plant obviously really not going to happen. There you go. Latic will get one. There's something about all players and pistols. So sharp. He's opting for the deal. He throws away the M4 as well. Yeah, I kind of respect that thing of throwing away the M4 there as well. Just making sure that owner can't upgrade. Not that it makes too big of a difference. Of course, it was a force buy for one win. So nothing for them to be brought in towards the next. Basement Boys chipping away bit by bit. I will not even warrant the conversation of a comeback until we get to like 11-9, maybe even 10, to be honest.
Yeah. I would agree. And they're not quite going to reach there. So the boosted up AK still has a pretty good chance. Whoa, flashes in, but yeah, it's half a second he was round that corner. Not going to see him. Not going to happen. So they just have to back off now and hope for a bit of a reapproach with this keen find of the AK.
Oh no. He knows. Let's get his. Quick trade though. Hobbit and that AK. Do one. There's a gun now to work with, which Ozik will get. This run's still a little precarious. Ozik swing the drive-by. That's the MP9 classic. Oh, and a drive-by Tech 9. Hang on. This round's up in the air here. This could still be really dicey. This is not good as well. Easy trades, and that's all you need to do in a situation like this. You've got the numbers. Play for the trades.
Crazy work. One win, have managed to squeeze it out. Unless trouble can turn things around. He's retrieved the kit. Is there anything else to write home about here? Smoke goes down, Molotov in. I mean, his hope perhaps is to just dive on this bomb. Inters though, patience pays off, an easy frag for him, and that'll be 12. Kind of prematurely, a little earlier than we were maybe expecting after that pistol.
Yeah, exactly. Good work from one win. Just no respect shown in that kind of round as well. Really, really simple stuff. Hobbit, very important kill for the first. It's that drive-by with the MP9 as well, and they just keep playing super fast, very aggressive, up in the face of Basement Boys, and they just play the numbers, right? Again, like we were saying, just play for the trades. You've got the advantage, utilize it. 12-3, map and series point, one win. There really has not been a competition in this series. Basement Boys have been not really up to par, unfortunately. Let's see whether they can change anything here late. There is, well, no presence towards A until now as the rotation's coming over from Bambosh. Bombs here too. They're going to contact their way out. There is no initial presence being shown here. Bambosh, he's getting boosted up, or he's self-boosting, and he actually will get the kill. Gets tagged low. That's information.
Making sure nobody's having this gun. As Inters will juggle the FAMAS out of the map. But yeah, we'll see here. Basement Boys might have just bought themselves a bit of time. If they can play their cards right. Ronus creeping forwards, however, they're given a lot of space at middle. So we're going to have to play this correctly. Yeah, keen find, keen peek. Levantino, they line up for him, but he can't get the damage, you know, all in the right place. Owner's been now as well. Oh my, quick tag, but not quite the kill. Could make all the difference. One win, though, have wrestled back the advantage. Digits being tapped in. And I think this might just be a position that you can win the game from, in all honesty. There's no kit available. 2 MP9s as well. Does not look good here now.
No, it doesn't. Jumping through, and that'll see it off as well. I was kind of thinking for a second, Inters might get the team kill. Doesn't matter. In the end, it is a dominant showing. Not even getting double digits across 2 maps, Scriv. It's a defiant performance from 1win, but it's a pretty damning one from Basement Boys. It's a really awkward one to watch them crash out of this tournament like this.
Yeah, it is. It is for sure. I think certainly a difficult kind of finish for them. A team that, you know, people have been having their eyes on, played obviously very, very